Today we're going to be breaking down a baby formula commercial that is streaming on Hulu on their ad platforms. I was blessed enough to be brought onto this project as a gaffer. My homie Jay is the DP cam op, and Kevin was also the DP slash director for this concept. So the product Bubs is a baby formula product that is made with goat milk. They came to Kevin asking for a few different 30-second and 15-second options. A lot of the stuff that we did either took place in the kitchen or the living room. There's also a couple product shots that they were looking to get. And really we had some time to light a very specific product shot, and then there was some that we just kind of grabbed because the lighting was good, whether it be on a shelf or inside the actual cabinet. So another challenge on this shoot was working with younger talent. A mom and the baby were on set, but I believe the baby could only be active at least 4 hours out of the day and had to take frequent breaks. So we had to maximize our time. We split this job up into 2 different days. We're gonna actually jump in and I'm gonna show you guys how I lit the kitchen scene first. So I'm gonna pull up the lighting diagram for this. And so we have the female lead, the child lead, which, they're at the kitchen counter. She's feeding the baby at the kitchen counter. She's being fussy. And so they need to have baby formula that will make their tummy settle. So for our lights, we had the Godox F400B, which is a flex light panel light, probably about a 4x2 panel, which we used as our key, which is a nice soft source on them. And we had the Forza 720B with a CTO gel on, just shining through the window, mimicking some, nice warm daylight. And there's a scene with the mom where she is frantically looking on the computer, trying to find solutions for her fussy baby and what kind of formulas might be best to help settle the baby's stomach. So we used the Godox F400 Flex Light and just added another layer of diffusion just to kind of soften it up and keep everything looking very commercial. And there's actually a really cool scene where the mom and the baby, the mom's trying to feed the baby gets all fussy and flings a spoonful of food in the mom's face. So we actually only shot this once or twice, and it was somebody who had their hand perfectly out of frame and just flung it on her face. Movie magic. It was just really perfect for the commercial, and it actually turned out really, really well. We were working a lot in the kitchen, so the lighting setup stayed primarily the same. And for the product shots, we didn't really need to move around a whole bunch of stuff. We still kept the Forza 720 with that warmer tone, kind of backlighting our products. I walked the Godox F400 in as our key as close as we possibly could get it, just right out of frame. But it also was kind of creating a hotspot on the kitchen counter. Use the Manfrotto fast flags to cut the bottom of the light, cut the light off of the table to make sure it was nice, even lighting. I believe I used a diffusion piece just to kind of make sure, or a net, actually. I believe I used a net to just kind of knock a bit of level off of that, the kitchen counter. We also wanted to incorporate some of those unique shots, kind of POV shots. So we took a FX3 wide angle lens and put it in with the Bubs goat milk baby formula in the kitchen pantry. That way you could get a cool, unique perspective. Just kind of add something else and unique to this commercial. And on some of these, especially in the kitchen, if it was feeling a little bit too bright, or we didn't have enough contrast on the mom side, maybe on some of the close-up shots, I would either walk our key light in, and I would also walk in a neg just to add a little bit more contrast to the face, which I think, this commercial, we wanted something that was bright, airy, but also had just a touch of contrast in there to, make our work stand out a little bit. So for the next concept was baby nap time negotiator. Basically, the mom's giving a presentation to the baby on why Bub's goat milk formula is the best and she needs to drink it. We were using the Sony FX6. I forget which lenses, but I'm assuming it was a Sony lens with some sort of, mist diffusion, maybe a 1/8. But we used a 6x6 of full grid just to get a nice, big, giant, soft source in the living room. So that way we could key both of our talents and let the DP move around, get a wide variety of shots without having to move lights in and out. Especially with working with a child actor, it was paramount that we just kind of light the space, get it all set up so we could, have a bunch of different wide varieties of coverage, and we didn't have to waste time moving lights around. We used the Godox 600D, and that was blasting through the 6x6 of full grid, which, keyed our talent. And then I also wanted to add a little bit of texture on that back bookshelf. So we went with the Nanlite 720 with the Fresnel that was not diffused at all, and that was kind of just raking light over the back wall onto the bookshelf just to kind of add a little bit more texture. There's not a whole lot of lighting setups. We kept it pretty simple. It came out with a great image. It was kind of a white room, so we are getting a good amount of return on the shadow side of the talent's face. And for this sit down shot, all I did was bring the key light. I believe we actually used the Godox F400 on that again and just brought it in as close as we could to the mom and the baby, rocking her in the corner, which there's not a whole bunch of shape, but we made it work. So I hope this helps you and kind of gives you an idea of how we approach gaffing a commercial shoot. We're dealing with time constraints. We're dealing with talent restrictions. We came out with a very decent commercial look that I feel looks very nice, polished. I was happy with how the lighting was. But also, we don't need to overcomplicate things in terms of, do we need a backlight? This light, should we light this up? Sometimes we just need to do what we know works and we have in our toolkit and move on from there. Sometimes simple and adding, supplementing the light that's already there is the best choice and the best option for the time being. It was a goal of mine to make sure that I got on commercial work and I wanted to add commercials to my portfolio. And I feel this project was a great project to be involved in to kind of get up and running and show my talents as a gaffer and, kind of make sure that I'm living within that realm of commercial work. Hopefully this breakdown provided some key insights on thought processes and the ways that I approached this commercial. If there's a way that you would approach it, please, let me know. I'm always open to hearing others' opinions and others' ways of doing things that I could potentially implement in my work.